Welcome back, welcome in, welcome to another video. Sorry about the lack of content lately. Been caught up with school a little bit, sort of hitting the end of the semester here. We got finals coming up in a couple weeks. But more importantly than that, we have the NFL draft coming up next week. I sort of have definitely not a week off, but just some more free time these next couple days, so I should be able to pump out a couple videos. Um, Once again, the exact same thing happened where I think it was multiple YouTube channels as well this time, but and diamonds in the rough, or the idea of it, is definitely not unique to me. I did not come up with it, but I think it was the director and possibly either the Chargers main channel or some other channels were just talking about like diamonds in the rough, late round guys to highlight. Um, and this one is not Charger specific at all. This is just guys who I think the consensus boards and the general media is a little bit lower on than me personally. Therefore, the potential diamond in the rough saying. So, getting into it, first we have Brian Asamoah, round projection. So, I used a consensus big board website, which just accumulates a bunch of mock drafts and big boards from different people and websites. And they had him going around round four. He is 6 feet tall, I think 6 feet, 6'1" ish, 222. So he's a Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah size ish. In a nutshell, he's undersized, but he has very long arms. Not the longest arms in the class, but above average arm length for the linebacker position, which is what matters the most in terms of measurables for linebackers, just because one, helps with tackling, two, if you're in zone coverage or just clogging up the middle of the field, it helps. And then obviously in man coverage, like that's why it helps with corners as well. You can just reach plays and reach footballs that you wouldn't be able to otherwise if you had shorter arms, like a Roger McCreary. He's a corner, but he is a plus all around athlete. I was hoping that he would sort of blow up the combine in his pro day. He didn't blow it up, but he had plus numbers all around. And I think that day one, he could fill that role, like I say here, that's developing in the NFL, of that coverage linebacker who can still survive in the box. JOK was drafted by the Browns, and he was having a great rookie season. And I think Brian Asamoah is a step behind him, but there's most definitely a role for him in the league now, with just how light the boxes are getting, how much speed you want, how much coverage is valued over run defense. And he does sort of get lost in the sauce a little bit on run plays. If a guard or tackle gets a hand on him, he's going to struggle, but he's no liability in run defense. I will say that. But I would take him. I would take him honestly, for sure, early third. I would consider it early second, but anywhere in the third for sure, and round projection four. So I think that's a little bit of a steal. And then this is my guy, because I'm not going to call myself a PFF junkie, but I definitely consume the most of their material compared to other draft networks or football networks. And even PFF has him going in the Mike Renner's big board just came out, and he was at like 196, which would put him in the 5th or 6th round. And I just, for some reason, I just have a feeling. He's 6'2", 198. He transferred from Tulsa to Mizzou, and he's my number one diamond in the rough because he is a true diamond, or truly in the rough for sure. 5th or 6th round, that's like pretty late. He's definitely going to get drafted, but he doesn't have super crisp technique or super crisp feet right now. But he ran a 4.46, 36 inch vertical. What would that be? A 10.9 inch broad, and he had a pretty good Senior Bowl. I just have a feeling. I like his tape. I liked what he did at the Senior Bowl. I don't know anything about him personality wise. He's definitely not a young corner. I want to say he's 22 right now, but he's not 23 or 24. I'm pretty sure. 22, that's pretty average for a corner, so age isn't a huge concern. With how valuable the cornerback position is, I just have a feeling that he is going to come in either year 1 or year 2 be a solid corner in the NFL, which getting a solid corner in the NFL on day 3 just provides a huge boost to your team because you're not spending that much draft capital, but moving the needle significantly for your team. So I think I'm locking in as a Caleb Evans as my guy, my true diamond in the rough. Next, we have Zach Tom. Once again, round projection 5 using that consensus big board. I would just be a little bit surprised if he was there around 5. This is a pretty deep O-line class, so there are a good amount of guys ahead of him. But, I mean, 6'5", 295. PFF has him with the best mirroring ability in the class. And I think that he could come in and be a pretty good guard day 1. He doesn't have, spectacular play strength, which ideally, big picture, you want more play strength from your guards and more mirroring and pass protection. It's on a sliding scale, but you want more of that from your tackles. So I would still try and keep him at tackle. He also kind of has tackle size, 6'5", 295. He's above that 33-inch arm length mark as well. He's technically sound, and I think he has position versatility up front, like I said before. And for a Caleb Evans, I would be willing to take him not in the 2nd, but in the 3rd, I think. In terms of where I value him, where I think it would be smart to take him would probably be the 4th, just because I don't think I see him going in the 3rd. And if he's projected the 5th, taking him in the 4th would be better value, as well as making sure that he's still there. Zach Tom, I could see going in the 3rd, but if he's there in the 4th, I would definitely take him in a heartbeat. If you have any need at O-line, even honestly, if you don't, as a swing tackle, because swing tackle or plug him in at guard, I just think he has the traits required to step in and be a good offensive lineman in the NFL, highlighted by that mirroring ability, which is a massive part of being an offensive lineman, because that's literally what you do. You mirror, mainly in pass protection, you just mirror what they do and don't let them. You just stay between them and the quarterback. An extreme way to dumb it down. But Zion McCollum, round projection was still round 4, round 5-ish. But after his combine and pro day, I would be floored if he was still there round 5. He's 6'2", 202. Other than 31-inch arms, which I think is pretty average for the cornerback position, he was built in a lab athletically. 4.3 340 time. He's not going to get beat deep. Great makeup speed. 39.5-inch vert. An absurd shuttle and 3-cone. A decent amount of work to do, but has shown flashes, and any chance he has to pan out. Any chance he pans out to his potential is scary. I would take him late third if he's there in the fourth, because I don't want Zion McCollum to start year one if he has to come in with injuries and stuff. I think as long as he knows the playbook and the scheme that he's in, I think he can survive. But I think 2-3 years down the road, if this guy can just put it together, you're talking about even mildly put it together, just average overall cornerback traits in terms of technique, ball skills, and just sort of reading the play recognition, route recognition, then that already puts him in an above average place just because of his baseline of athleticism. That being said, there are, I would rather have elite of those other things I mentioned, elite route recognition, elite ball skills, elite, tackling's not that important for cornerbacks, but elite cornerback traits than elite athleticism if I had to choose between the two. But if Zion McCollum, he already has that elite athleticism. If you take that shot on him in those mid rounds and he does hit that average to above average cornerback skills, there's no telling what this dude could do. And he hasn't shown that, obviously, upper tier college film, college tape of just locking dudes down. But there's always, I don't remember what round Nate Hobbs went in, but he was one of the better rookie corners. He was drafted pretty late. Zion McCollum, I don't think, will be one of the top rookie corners year one, but if you told me in 3 years Zion McCollum was a cornerback one on a not so great team or a pretty good cornerback two on a pretty good team, I wouldn't be surprised. Cordaro Flatt is possibly the last guy that I focus on here, and then I have a couple of honorable mentions, but round projection is 6. I thought after his pro day it was going to go up, but the consensus was still round 6. He is 6'1", 178. Great coverage skills, just needs to add good weight, and hopefully that will lead to improved play strength. Has the movement skills to be a good cover corner. I think that he already did add some weight because I've talked about Flatt before, but especially his, rookie season, his freshman and sophomore year, he looked so thin. He played slot mostly for us here at LSU. I should have put the schools, actually. Zion McCollum is from Sam Houston State or something like that. Zach Tom, a Brown school. I don't remember which one. Caleb Evans, I told you guys Mizzou. Brian Asamoah, Oklahoma. But Cordaro Flatt, I think he already has put on good weight. He looked like a true 6'1", 180 at the pro day, which was really my only question mark about him, is if he could add good weight and still run and test like an above average, close to elite cornerback prospect. And he had very good pro day numbers, good movement skills, good coverage skills. I think he could come in and be a pretty good CB3 year one. And then if he does show that improved play strength at the catch point a little bit, but also just in run defense, then I mean, Cordaro Flatt could definitely be a CB2 sooner rather than later. I would take Flatt, and I mean, he's projecting the sixth. I would be floored if he was there in the sixth. I think he could definitely go in the fifth. I would take him in the fourth for sure. Third, I would take him early fourth at least. But round projection 6 just floored me when I saw that. And then honorable mentions real quick. Noah Ellis out of Idaho. Great strength and leverage. He's a D tackle. Late round guy, probably 6th or 7th round. But, I mean, rotational D tackle, a lot of guys need that. Chargers included still. And if you can get a guy with, I mean, for a D tackle, those are two of the most important things. He does have great strength, and he plays with great leverage. And coming out of college, if you can give me that day one, that's pretty valuable for that position. And then Damone Clark out of LSU. The combine, I think they flagged something for medical, and he needed to get neck fusion surgery. So he is going to miss his entire rookie season. And honestly, before this, he was probably going to go in the 4th round-ish. After this, probably 6th or 7th. I think he'll still get drafted, but he's going to miss his rookie season. And really anything with fusion in it kind of just scares you a little bit. It is a pretty serious surgery, and in addition, anything with a neck is pretty shady territory. But I mean, sideline to sideline speed, very good tackler. He, from what I can remember last year, I mean, he absolutely flies to the football, but from what I remember watching the games, he didn't have amazing coverage skills. But if you're getting a high-end athlete who has a prototypical NFL frame and has produced pretty well in the SEC in the 6th or 7th round, once again, diamond in the rough, I think there's value there. You're just not going to be getting that rookie season. And then Jason Poe, the Mercer guard / fullback / wrecking ball. He's probably going to go earlier just because there's a couple of media draft analysts who are showing his highlights and talking about him a little bit more as a late round guy. So that's going to push him up just a tiny bit probably, or just at least get him on people's boards so people actually watch his tape. But really, just get this guy in the move, and he's going to do some damage. I haven't really watched his tape. I've seen some of his highlights just of him absolutely blowing dudes up. And if you can get that's still a valuable thing to do. He's very good in space, and if you can develop the normal interior offensive line skills and just get him capable in a phone booth and capable in pass protection, stuff like that, then getting a guy who's extremely dangerous on the move in the probably 6th or 7th round would be valuable. And like this says, fullback, if you're stuck on that goal line, put this dude in a fullback, he will clear a hole for you. He complete just dominance and aggression and willingness to take on defenders and move them according to his will. But that is it for the diamonds in the rough. And like I said, school is sort of clearing up a little bit. I am extremely excited for the draft. I am assuming if you're watching this video, you are as well. If this is the first video that you've watched, even if you are a subscriber, I think 97% of the people who have watched my videos aren't subscribed to me, so consider doing that. I cover mostly the NFL draft, and then my favorite team is the Chargers, so it's like almost 50-50 of pure just NFL draft prospect breakdown, stuff like that, stuff like this, and Chargers specific mock drafts, Chargers needs, Chargers breaking news, stuff like that. But if you are into either one of those, or you just feel like supporting Sports with Schu, just another college student about to graduate, but as of right now, just another college student trying to get his name out there, get some better takes out there for Chargers fans, and learn more about the NFL, learn more about other teams' rosters, and hopefully one day have a job in football. That's the dream, but we'll see about that. But that should do it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.